Okay.
All right, so this is the website that the lady at the Smeckens workshop gave us. It's the secret site. And we will send that in an email with the password and the username. These are videos of examples of what she does during the 90-minute block. What she thinks the 90-minute block should look like, it should have whole class mini lesson, which is about 15 minutes. It should have small group of guided instruction, which is about 20 minutes, and independent literacy stations that grow from 3 minutes to 20 minutes after they build their stamina, which is really similar to the Daily 5. All right, so these videos are very helpful. It goes through exactly what she does during her independent groups, and she showed us the intermediate one, and this is also the primary video. She also gave us several tools for comprehension. We talked about our different reading voices and thinking voices, and there are printables here that you can print off, and you can hold those up in class and talking about your reading voice and your thinking voice. And let's see. Some other tools she gave us was while they're reading, they need to have multiple strategies when they're thinking about the text. So one is using the reading voices and thinking voices. One is maybe they could jot down notes if they have questions that they're asking themselves as they're reading. They can use sticky flags anywhere that they have a question. Quotes and notes. That's give a quote that says something, tells them something about what they're reading, or maybe answers their questions that they're reading about, or that they have when they're reading, excuse me. Let's see. This talks more about the sticky flags, and you can go into each one of these links, and they give you at least the hard copy, maybe some examples as well. We talked about the retelling glove. It gives students a reminder that they can think about as they're reading. It has solution, events, problem setting, and characters. This was a neat one. I don't know if we can click on that. Somebody wanted but, so then they can take notes. Somebody who is the story about wanted, what does she or he want to do? But, what happened? So, what did he try to do? And then, how was the problem solved? And it's kind of just an organizer to keep their thinking going the right direction when they're reading. Okay. Carrie, did you want to talk about fluency a little bit?
Yeah. Fluency, this is the thing that I noticed in the upper grades, because they're so ingrained in K through 2 to read as many words per minute as they can, that once they get past that time where time tests are really important on dibbles and whatnot, they're still thinking about reading words per minute as quickly as they can, and not necessarily reading in a speaking voice, not using punctuation to help guide their reading, not using, well, really not being able to comprehend, because it's just it's just a constant stream of words. So there were good tips on here about how to get kids to read with expression. I think there were examples of this game that she had, or you could purchase it with Teachers Pay Teachers store, but it was only a couple bucks. But it gave a sentence and then gave several examples of different expressions that the kids, should try to read the sentence, like read it like you're an embarrassed person, read it like you're angry, read it like you're, and it seemed like something that would be fun and also beneficial as far as learning how to change your voice to match the expression.
And there was also a really neat book called Yo Yes, and it just has like one word on each page and it had different punctuation, and sometimes it was the same word with different punctuation, and that just shows the kids how different punctuation is supposed to sound differently. She showed us a lot of really neat books.
This
that
one
I would
was
love to
really
get.
cool, because it is, what do they call those, when it's the same forward and backward?
Inverted maybe? I don't know.
I want to say palindrome, but that's just a word. But anyway, it's a poem, but it can be read forwards and backwards, but the meaning changes based on which direction that you're reading it.
Yeah, it has it on the one side of the page, it has it the right way, and then on the other side, it has it completely backwards, but you still, of course, read it up and down. I don't know, you just have to check it out, it's really
It
neat.
was very cool.
She also talked about different word study skill or tools. We talked about word sorting. I thought this one thing was neat. She took 3 styrofoam cups and put different letters around each one, and they could twist it to make words. I thought that was really neat. Word ladders, which most people know about. That's a good tool she gave us.
Anybody do your daily 5, this would be good for word work
Yeah.
time, all this.
Yeah, that would all be great. She talked about building a fluency rubric with the students. You get a 1 if you're reading like a robot, slow, boring, not changing your voice for punctuation, not reading in different characters. 3 for good talking, speed, interesting, change voice for punctuation, change for characters, and then if you're somewhere in between, you got a 2. And I have these in my notes if anyone would like to take a look at them. And also another big point that she made was not to, after like 1st grade, to have the students not use their finger to point anymore, because you want them constantly reading ahead, and if they're pointing word by word, then they're not able to do that. Or if you have them put a note card underneath, she said not to do that either. If they do need something to keep track, tell them to put the note card above so that they can still constantly be looking ahead at what they're reading. You can still, she gave different resources for word study. She also talked about book clubs. She said that having 2 or 3 book clubs a year is a great idea, and to not make them more than 10 days long, so you kind of need to go through the books pretty fast. Let the students pick their books. She talks a little bit more about this in this section. And she also gave us a website, book trailers for readers down here, and they have all kinds of different book trailers for books that you might read in your classroom, and it kind of gets the students interested in what they're reading. And then she gave a list of chapter books, and then she gave a reading data tracker that was pretty neat as well. But that's pretty much sums up the conference that we went to, and we'll send you this link, and if you would like to look at either one of our notes, then you're welcome to do that as well. Thank you.